Hello everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the Magic the Gathering Facebook group Cockatrice playtesting. This week I will be playing with American Miracles. Actually, this is an identical deck created by Todd Anderson from the SCG Cincinnati Open. My opponent is Joe Rudinsky. I don't know what he's playing as usual. Just a quick overview of the deck. Basically, the general concept is to play Miracles. So it's basically a blue-white control shell. It splashes red for just a few cards. Mainly Pillar of Flame is the actually only spell in the deck, and it's also playing red for a 1-of Desolate Lighthouse. Basically, the point of the deck is we want to draw and activate our Miracle cards not only on our turn but on our opponent's turn as well. Therefore, it is running a playset of Think Twice and Azorius Charm, which act as cantrips to trigger the Miracles. On top of that is also running 4 of the new Jace, Architect of Thought, as well as 2 Tamiyo. These are basically the Jace is used to just generate a little bit of card advantage and slow down the aggro decks, which I have found in recent games very, very effective. As well as Tamiyo to lock down 1-ofs in the later matches and just kind of hold a solid board position. As well as the Planeswalkers for control, the deck is running currently 5 Sweepers main, and Sweepers meaning board wipes for creatures, 4 Terminus, which are miracle activated spells, as well as 6-drop Sweepers, and 1 of the new Doge, which is the Supreme Verdict. In the sideboard, we do have extra Supreme Verdict that we can bring in against heavy creatures. So we're going to go ahead and get started here, and hopefully I can give you guys a good demo of how this deck should run. So as usual, like I said, I don't know what my opponent is playing. Hopefully it's something that's going to be good and we can get a good game out of it. Let's see. Okay, so I will be on the play of this game. Okay, so the opening hand is actually pretty good for a control deck. I definitely am going to keep it here. Now, primarily what I definitely want to do is lead off with tap lands. There's no reason that we should have to be playing our shock lands and hurting ourselves early in the game. Primarily, I guess the best reason is we don't want to take a lot of damage depending on what he's playing. In this case, I don't think it's going to be anything too effective. Looks like he's playing green-white mid-range or maybe some Naya variant. Okay, so as you notice, I did draw a Miracle off the top. Unfortunately, in the early games, it's not really that useful. So we'll probably just go ahead and keep playing lands tapped and pass here. Eventually, I want to work myself up to be able to play Jace. So if I do draw a 4th land, which I'm hoping to, I will shock myself then, just so that way I can get him out there early. Okay. So yeah, as I suspected, it is some sort of Naya mid-range of some sort. Okay, so this is actually pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and play the Steam Vents tapped again. Now, just to look over our options here, we do have the Azorius Charm, which does act as a cantrip. I don't actually think it's that relevant right now, so I'd rather not waste it. Especially late in the game, you'll notice the deck starts to thin, and I think main board we're running 7 Miracles right now, so it actually is very possible that we can get in there quickly and just happen to draw a Miracle off the top with luck with our Charm. Being that I do have 2, I actually think I will go ahead and Azorius Charm here to draw, because I do want to expedite my card advantage just a little bit. Okay, so he does have a Smiter. I can play Jace and bring him up to 5. I think probably a better move here, however, is if he goes turn 4 Huntmaster. I think I'm actually more prone to fighting the Huntmaster than a Smiter. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just Detention Sphere his Smiter. So that way I don't have to worry about it. If I play Jace this turn and plussed him, it wouldn't really be that effective. He'd go to 5, he'd crack at Jace for 3, and I would actually lose the battle in the long run. So I don't really want to push Jace out anytime soon. I don't want to make it seem like I have to force Jace at any point. Okay, so he actually seems to be stuck on some lands here, and a Silverblade Paladin. So this is actually fine. This is what I wasn't really that worried. It has double strike 4, so it'll bring it down to 1. So now we can actually go ahead and progress to play our Jace next turn. Okay. So here we go. I actually did pick up a Tamiyo, which I actually might like better here because he is kind of land screwed. So maybe I think I will go ahead and shock myself. The other option is, like I mentioned, we can Jace plus here and give a weakness to his creatures. His Silverblade will only swing in for 2, which is pretty relevant. I think actually I'm going to play the Jace here, so I don't have to play my shock land. And as you can see, Cockatrice still hasn't really updated its database yet. So we'll bring Jace to 5. And we're just going to pass here. So as mentioned, I think, right, it does give double strike. He doesn't have anything. This actually does have double strike itself. No, it doesn't even have double strike, so he'll be cracking for 1. Okay, that's fine. So I think next turn he's probably going to pair with a Centaur Healer. Okay, so the double strike is really relevant on the Centaur Healer. He has 6 cards in hand. And we'll just go ahead and remove a counter from him. 2 counters, actually, excuse me. So, alright, so we'll go ahead and play a land here. It actually might be relevant to Terminus here, although I'm not really that worried. So if I can plus and then lock down his Centaur Healer, I think that's probably the best move. So we're going to add a counter to Jace here. And then we'll go ahead and set counters on Tamiyo to 5, and we'll lock down his Centaur Healer. Okay, that being said, now we can kind of just ride this to victory. Eventually we're going to develop enough mana, and unfortunately for my opponent, he's running on very little lands. So I don't really find a threat in anything that he has. So I guess alright, I guess he finally gets a land maybe. Alright, good. So he has to shock himself. My guess is a Huntmaster of the Fells coming down, possibly a Resto Angel, but I don't know. Strangleroot Geist, okay, so that's actually was a little unexpected. So he's going to bring in okay, so 1, 2, 3. So my Tamiyo will go down to 2 here. That's actually exactly what I wanted to do to overcommit, because now I can actually Terminus. Not really that worried about it, and Jace gets to live again, which is good. Okay, so I'm actually not even worried that he has it, but I'm going to go ahead and Terminus anyway, just to get rid of this. He can rip. I actually am going to probably lock down his double green, so that way another Strangleroot Geist does not come down. So we'll add a counter on Tamiyo, lock down his Temple Garden, and then we'll set the counters on Jace to 2, and do a mini Factor Fiction here. See, actually, those cards are a little dead to me now. The Pillar Flame's actually kind of relevant, and Syncopate is pretty good too. I'm not really too concerned with the Azorius Charm, so we'll see what he chooses. At this point, I'll probably just pick the bigger pile. My guess is he probably wouldn't put Pillar and Syncopate in the same hand, but we'll see. Syncopate in the other 2. Okay. Since I don't have Counter Magic up, he's probably just going to do it, so I'm just going to take the 2 here. So meaning, since I don't have Counter Magic up, he's probably just going to cast something this turn, and there's really not much I can do about it. So we'll let him cast it. Hopefully Pillar of Flame is enough to take care of the creature that he plays this turn. Doesn't look like he has a lot of action in his hand, so probably another Smiter, maybe. Silverblade Paladin. Okay, that's fine. So again, as mentioned, I'm not really that concerned about what he has. I'm going to let the Terminus go on this one. I don't really, as you saw, I did draw a Terminus for it, so I'm not really too worried about it. I think we'll probably just keep plussing here. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. And I think we'll probably just pillar that Silverblade. He probably wanted me to, that's why he let out with that, but that's fine. I can save my Terminus later for better sweepers. And I think we'll pass here. The only benefit that I do have right now is I do have double Azorius Charm. So what will be good is I can eventually maybe top deck and Entreat the Angels and get 2 Angels end of turn. That would be great. Oh, okay, so I guess let's try it. Nothing, so we'll just pass here on that one. Okay, so is good. I'm hitting land drops, which is nice. I think I'm going to probably just keep ticking Tamiyo up here. And that being said, I'll probably set the counters on my Jace to Factor Fiction again, just so that way I can generate some sort of card advantage. Oh, good. So he's probably going to do Entreat, Snapcaster Glacial. That being said, I do have 2 Entreats in my hand if I choose to take the pile with the Entreat. Otherwise I have to Snapcaster Mage, and it's going to take forever just to flash it back. So I might actually say Snapcaster, Glacial, or the Entreat. I don't think he has any way to exile the stuff from my hand, but I'm probably just going to ship the Entreat to the bottom. Okay, so now we actually have a really good base going here. Let me just check, make sure okay, so I did hit my land drop, was a Clifftop Retreat. I don't really have anything else to do here, so eventually what we can do is get the Desolate Lighthouse and slowly progress our way into getting a little bit more card advantage. I can start pitching things that I don't need as much. Okay, Arbor Elf is fine. End of turn, I'm going to try to Azorius Charm again. I do have a little bit more mana now. Okay, so that's fine. Strangely enough, I haven't hit any Think Twice yet, which is a good way for me to generate some sort of card advantage. Okay, so again, we're just going to keep doing the old lockdown strategy. And eventually we're just going to go Tamiyo Infinite here and prevent things from getting through. So we definitely want to keep pillaring his guys here, so that way he doesn't get any extra mana on it. I think we just pass here again. So if you notice, the deck actually has a lot of downtime in it, where you're not really doing anything too much. I am waiting to rip that top deck Entreat the Angels. Currently, if I count it up, I think what is Entreat is triple white, so let's say 1, 2, 3, and then I can make 2 Angels. I'm not really that ecstatic about it, so I'd rather just kind of wait on that. Okay, good. Detention Sphere is actually pretty good too, because I can eventually maybe lock down something that I'm not going to be able to handle. I guess I'm probably just going to keep ticking Jace up. A lot of people, what I've seen the use is, we can either kill Jace and play a second Jace, which could be good to generate a little bit of card advantage. I'm not too concerned about it though. So, because I already have a little bit of board control. There's no reason for me to put myself in a position that I need to sacrifice my own Jace. So yeah, we're just going to keep doing this strategy. He does not know I have Detention Sphere, plus I have another Terminus. I think the only thing right now that can stop me, which he doesn't have enough mana to do anyway, is a top deck Bonfire. So for example, if I go to Entreat the Angels for, in this case, I can make 3 Angels now. He can Bonfire for 4, but I'm locking down a land every turn. Oh, okay, so he's actually, he pitches Strangleroot Geist. Okay, that's fine. So again, these Terminus I'm hitting, I'm not going to be playing, they're not really useful. So I think we're just gonna so we'll let him know X equal 3. And we'll make some Angels. Okay, so he's gonna surrender on that one. Okay, so as you can see, a lot of decks, especially, he got mana screwed in that case, but it's very hard for them to deal with that many angels, and especially because you're not playing black. Like I said, the only thing that he could have really done was a bonfire. However, me tapping down his land every turn is not really going to get him anyway. Okay, so I definitely want to bring in the 2 Supreme Verdict. I want to make sure I have enough removal to take care of things. Pillar's actually pretty good. I think that I do have a fairly strong main deck matchup against him. I haven't seen any spells. Syncopate is also very strong. I might actually take out a Terminus here, because I think the Supreme Verdict is a little bit easier to cast. Although the Miracle is nice, I don't find it that relevant. Probably take out a 1 Pillar as well. Then again, Pillar Flame is pretty strong. However, I think post-board I want to turn it into a little bit more of a control matchup. He does have the Loxodon Smiter, so I don't want to really board in Dissipate or Negate. I don't want to deal with that. I'll just Detention Sphere it. I have enough of them. So really I'll just add the 2 Supreme Verdict and take out a Terminus and a Pillar. Verdict's actually particularly strong. Aside from the Strangleroot Geist case, Verdict's strong because I don't give him a chance to recycle what he has in his deck. I don't really see any other stronger options, so let's go ahead and play. Okay. So hopefully this game he actually gets lands and we can show you a little bit better of a game. This is actually looking really good. Lighthouse, and I can actually play at this game, hopefully, with my Sulfur Falls and everything. Think Twice is good, Detention Sphere is good, Terminus is good, so hopefully this will run well, so we're going to keep it here. Basically, I guess the general gist of his deck is to just go turn 1 Accelerants, and then play maybe a turn 2 Loxodon Smiter, turn 3 Huntmaster of the Fells, or even a turn 2 Strangleroot Geist. So that's actually good for me. My assumption is that he doesn't really have the Temple Garden. As he'll find out too, I don't really have lands as well either. So we're going to go Sulfur Falls tapped here. Next turn we can play the Plains, which then will ensure that my Glacial Fortress and Clifftop Retreats come into play untapped. I probably will end of turn Think Twice on the next turn. It really depends on what I draw. Okay, so this is fine. He's not really putting up any threat. My only guess is that his board is possibly presented as a late game strategy. So he might have some sort of way, maybe he's going late game. I understand that it's probably a good decision, especially for this kind of deck. I want to take it into the late game. Okay, Smiter's fine, so we're going to do the same thing we did before and Detention Sphere it. I actually, Smiter's a very, very powerful card, so we definitely don't want him getting anywhere near that. Okay, so that's good. We'll pass here. Next turn I will untap. I can keep Syncopate mana up, and then end of turn if he chooses not to cast anything, I can Azorius Charm. Should I Azorius Charm? I actually don't even have enough to do anything that strong. So Strangleroot Geist, that's fine. Rancor, so forth. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Now I've been given a little stronger of a situation. I'm actually not concerned. If he goes Silverblade Paladin, I think just holding up the Syncopate mana. Main phase Think Twice would be good here to ensure that I get lands, but I'm a little bit more concerned of what his threats are going to be. He's running out of cards slowly, so if I can just get to 6 mana and Terminus, hopefully he'll overextend. So again, this was probably a proper play. If I had main phase Think Twice here, I would not be able to Syncopate this. So that's very important because Huntmaster does give me some problems. Most of the time I don't play spells, and I might even be forced to play Azorius Charm's main phase, which I don't want to do. Okay. That's good. So we keep hitting land drops, which is definitely relevant. And we're just going to keep passing here. If I look in my yard, I do have a Think Twice in the yard, so I'll probably play that first. as opposed to playing the ones in my hand, so I can get some sort of card advantage. If I'm lucky enough, I can rip a Terminus off the top, which would be pretty good too. Another option we do have is I can Azorius Charm, check to see if I do get a Terminus, and then if I don't, I can think twice to try and get a Terminus again. So even if I do, I'm going to probably wait on this, and I think I will go into attempt Azorius Charm. So he'll soulbound those. I'm going to be taking 8 off this attack, which is pretty strong. Next turn, I actually I'm going to attempt to try and get the Terminus on these draws here. So let's okay, Tamiyo, so that's fine. He's cracking for, I believe, 8 damage. Which is fine. I'm gonna just Terminus. The only bad thing is, so I guess end step, we'll think twice. Okay. The only bad thing is if he does rip Bonfire, because I will die instantly to that. So we'll just Terminus here, ship everything, I don't really care. Should he hit Strangleroot Geist, or he's been keeping one in his hand, then he will just win. That's probably the strongest play I could have done here. In retrospect, I could Tamiyo Lockdown, but I think he's... Okay, so that's fine. And maybe an Arbor, a Rancor. Okay, so he has no cards in hand. He actually missed the trigger here. Put into the graveyard, right? Yeah, so he missed the trigger on the Rancor, which actually would have put me in much worse position should he have brought the Rancor back. So, for example, he would have actually been able to put a lot more damage on me. Let's see, so we have 6 lands. I can get a 7th land, or I can play tapped Hallowed Fountain. My preference is probably Lighthouse here. And then we just go... just Tamiyo Lockdown here. So my assumption is he's probably running the Bonfire, but at this point I just have to get lucky here and hope that he doesn't draw it. And I think he just wins here. Oh, okay, good. Huntmaster. That's fine. So we'll just keep going tap down here. That's fine. I don't really mind this at all. We're just going to kind of extend the game as much as we can. Okay. So this is even better for me because I'm just going to ship all this stuff to the bottom. For me personally, life gain doesn't matter. Okay, good. So as you can see, if you notice, I'm a little hesitant about drawing miracles off the top when I'm tapped out like that. Only because I don't want to waste it should I not have it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think just for the sake of it, I guess I have to almost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We will Terminus here. So actually, despite boarding out a Terminus, I did kind of get pretty far. Okay, sorry about that. And then we're just going to keep bumping Tamiyo. I guess the more relevant card is to keep him off double red, I guess. The only thing I could think of is if he has a Sigarda, which Sigarda he could just rip it off the top and I would die. I can't actually lock it down with Tamiyo, I can't do anything. Okay, good. So he's really not getting anywhere, and this puts me in a really good position because now I can really just go crazy. I can I guess double red, I guess he can hit Thundermaw. I don't know if he's running Thundermaw. So I'm probably just going to keep locking down double red here, just to ensure that he doesn't flying haste at me. So now we can Jace. I actually think I'm just going to go down to 2 here. That's good, so he's probably going to go lands Pillar. I probably will take the Pillar in this case, so that way I don't have to waste Tamiyo on any of his creatures. And I am getting a little bit of spells here and there, so Pillar and lands, okay. So I will actually take the Pillar in this case. Lands are almost irrelevant. So I guess we go ahead and pass here. So again, you can see a little bit of downtime or dead time in this matchup, just in general. Okay, so probably a Smiter. Okay. And Rancor on it. That's fine. So now I can actually get some use out of it. So I think what we'll do here is end of turn, we will think twice. Okay, so nothing relevant. Whoa, where are all my miracles at? Jeez. So, well, I guess I should say the Smiter, obviously. So, I'll just keep adding a counter to Jace just in case he does something. For some reason, Strangleroot Geist won't kill me, certain things won't kill me. I mean, the haste is a big issue. I guess maybe for him, he's probably just like, I need to rip a bonfire at this point. Which in my case, I guess it wouldn't have been too bad for me to bring in the negates. So I'll activate the Lighthouse. And I guess we'll view the graveyard here. And we'll think twice. Okay. So still no miracles. Kind of annoying. So I'm actually going to, instead of going Emblem here, I'm going to go Lockdown again on the Tamiyo. And we'll set my Jace counters down to 1. Triple land. Well, I guess this really doesn't mean anything. It's kind of -2, draw 2 lands here. Okay. So I guess we just go ahead and pass here. Not really much action going on. Alright, great. So, look at the yard. We'll think twice, end of turn. And Lighthouse, end of turn. Alright, still no anything. But I do happen to hit and Entreat the Angels. We're gonna get it in for a lot. So I guess now we'll just set the counters on Tamiyo to 1. Get the Emblem. And probably just resume to Detention Sphere. His guy. Seems like all I've done this game is just Detention Sphere, Loxodon Smiters. So we'll add a counter here. So I guess we can just continue to shoot him for 2 for a little bit. And that being said, we'll just pass. So again, he's really not in any position to attack whatsoever, it seems like. Let's see. I don't know. Oh, I guess he got another land. Okay, so Stronghold's actually a big problem. I'll probably go ahead and be tapping that down. Although I do have an Azorius Charm, so every turn I can just put a creature on top. Oh, look at that. Okay. I guess we'll just first start out, just to ensure. And let's just see what we got here. So this is Entreat the Angels for X equals 4. I think that ensures. Okay, so that's game. There you have it. Kind of a slow game on the most part, but as the deck kind of works, it's very control-like. A lot of board sweeps, a lot of Planeswalker control. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.